Alright guys, hope you're doing well, hope you're all keeping safe. I'm still alive, don't worry, although for some of you that might be bad news. I've been away, I think I haven't uploaded for 2 weeks. I was on holiday all of last week and the start of this, and that's a vacation for my US viewers. I was hoping to get a video out on Wednesday or even yesterday, but I came back to a ton of work for my full-time job, and then I had some IRL stuff yesterday, so later than I'd like, but finally back to it. I said in my last video that unless something monumental happened whilst I was away, I wouldn't make any videos, and nothing monumental happened, which is why you didn't get any. But my phone was blowing up last week like it hasn't for a long time, because of the invincibility issues and the issues following the maintenance there was. Now today I wanted to do a kind of quick recap of what happened last week, and then talk about the positive feeling I felt after all of this. And I know some of you might be shocked to hear me say positive after the stuff that I've just mentioned, and if you are part of what happened last week. But I am going to explain why I feel that way. Drop a like and subscribe to stay up to date with all my videos, and let's begin. Now looking back, I believe all of these issues stemmed from the maintenance that was completed on September 21st. Now the maintenance was put out to fix a few long-standing issues. These issues were, and I'll read from the maintenance notes here, it says fix an issue that caused players to become invisible if a player detonated the EMP sticky bomb while interacting with a ladder. I'd actually received numerous tweets about this, DMs showing me how this worked. Fix an issue where players could infinitely use or throw the shrapnel trap skill with no cooldown while having 4 pieces of the rigger set. Again, another long-standing PvP issue that was been around for a long time and causing a lot of issues. And then fix an issue where players could climb over a fence in Coney Island Ballpark and reach a non-playable area. Firstly, it was finally good to see some actual fixes being deployed to some issues that have been destroying the PvP experience for a long time. There's a saying, better late than never. But how about an alternative? How about better now than later, perhaps? I think adopting this saying might find favour with the community, especially the PvP community, who have really had a bad deal with the Division 2. I can't say I'm happy they fixed the Coney Island Ballpark issue, because some of the screenshots I've seen outside of the playable area have been really awesome. I didn't actually do it myself just because of the track record that this game's had of banning people. So I didn't do it myself, but some of the images I saw were really, really cool. But I get that it needed to be fixed. It wasn't intended, so that's fine, of course. All in all, it's just good to see the devs are fixing things. Some of that's been missing for some time now. And just to add, I have seen reports since the maintenance that players in PvP are still able to go invisible. I don't know how it's being done at this point, but if I find out, then of course I will report it, and hopefully it's maybe just that one-off person that has found out something and it doesn't go any further than that. We don't need any more issues like this, especially within the PvP arena. Now, of course, after the maintenance completed on the 21st, there came an avalanche of tweets stating missions were not loading. I think they were getting stuck at 9%. It might have even just been the login screen was getting stuck at 9%. People were turning on the game and their character models were completely missing. And of course people were worried that they'd lost their character, they'd lost all their progress and all that sort of stuff. My Twitter feed following this kind of got bombarded with tweets about this issue, and just overall it was just a mess. Ubisoft support tweeted the same day to say it was being investigated, and importantly actually confirmed that characters and their progression would not be affected by this issue. So save files were okay, which was obviously the news that everyone wanted to hear. The problem did persist until a maintenance on the 24th, which I believe has now rectified the issues. Let's just say this isn't the first time a maintenance has either not fixed the issue it reports to have fixed or created even bigger issues elsewhere, and it won't be the last either. And if you haven't come to accept that yet, then you need to. I've come to accept that fact now, so instead what I will say is Yannick was all over this on Twitter, which was really, really refreshing to see. You're probably wondering then how I can kind of take any positives from this situation. Well, like I said, this didn't come as a surprise to me because quite often a maintenance creates more problems than it fixes in this game. What did come as a nice welcome surprise was the amount of involvement Yannick had on Twitter and the fact devs are trying to fix long-standing issues. In a previous video I told you that most of the development team had been moved to work on the new content, and that's why bugs and glitches had not been fixed even after many reports and videos and all that sort of stuff. In fact, I said every single developer had been moved to the content team. I also said that this wasn't a permanent move and the people would be moved back to fixing these bugs once content or once these people were no longer needed to work on the content, presumably because the content was coming to its completion. Now, when I saw the maintenance, my first thought was, is the content coming to its completion, and that's why issues are now being fixed? And this was a real positive for me because that was the conclusion that I came to. Let's not forget, the information that I got about teams at Massive moving to content and away from bug fixing came from a source at Massive, a current developer. So it's very credible. I'm hoping that now we start to see a lot more proactivity on the health of the current game, fixing bugs and stability issues and all that sort of stuff. That's the first thing. Secondly, it was nice to see my feed completely filled with Division related stuff. Even if it wasn't good stuff, it was bad stuff. But then on top of that, you then had Yannick responding to people. And if there's one thing that I've missed, and I think we've all missed, and I've talked about 1,000 times in my videos over the last year, it's communication between the developers or some kind of community manager and the community. And yeah, sure, I'd like some content news like all of you, but just to have some level of communication was really great to see. Also, I am seeing a trend of Yannick being more and more active on Twitter at kind of over the last couple of weeks, and I think that's a good sign. Last but not least, and completely unrelated to last week, we're only about 2 months from December now. We are getting closer and closer to some news on the new content, and I can't lie, I'm starting to get a little bit excited. I really don't want to either because expectations can lead to disappointment, as it has done a few times with the Division 2, but this franchise has given us some amazing content before, so there's always going to be a part of me that always will be hopeful. I hope we don't have to wait too much longer. As I said, I think the fact that devs have been moved from maybe dealing with content over to actually fixing stuff, like the invisibility glitch, that's been around for many months and they've only just now fixed it. And that's because developers are now looking at trying to fix this stuff. I can only presume content is coming towards its completion and they're probably on track for this stuff to come out in December. I know for sure that in August it was on track for a December release. So these kind of signs make me think that it's still on track and that they're getting close to completion there. But that's it, guys. I just wanted to check in really and talk about what happened last week. I've not really looked to see if there's anything news-worthy kind of lurking that might be worth a video yet, but I'm going to get to that as soon as possible. I am back now, so expect to get regular videos, 1 or 2 a week, and obviously when stuff starts coming out, it will be more often than that. It really depends on what we get from the Division as to what I can offer you guys. But yeah, thanks for watching, and until next week, Epic out.